And then like ones if you see it in the middle of the night on like an empty road, you want to go up and help it because oh my gosh, here's a little child that's lost. Then you go up there and you get like 2 feet from this thing and then it turns around and you realize, oh my god, it's an SCP. What's up, Rad Fam? Y'all have been commenting, telling me you want me to cover more of the SCP world. You want me to dive into more creepy creatures that you guys are suggesting, which I absolutely love. I love when you guys make suggestions, so thank you so very much. Now, when I was looking up all the different suggestions, I was really intrigued by the idea of SCP children, or creatures that take on the form of a human child. Like, that just sounds so darn terrifying to me. So based off of some of the suggestions, I searched through series 1 to find some really creepy, dangerous, nightmare-inducing ones that look like children, and that's what I want to cover today. So let's get to it. As we know from this channel already, kids can be pretty darn creepy even when they don't mean to be. There's just, you know, something about it. They look innocent, but then when they say something creepy, it like throws you off guard. Like, kids are just little nightmare machines. The first one we're covering today is SCP-239 The Witch Child. And this one thankfully has a picture because I love me some pictures. I like to see a representation of what the SCP is right off the bat because, you know, sometimes that just helps. So this one, okay, it's not the creepiest, most terrifying picture, but does that make it more terrifying? Because then this child's slightly unassuming. I think that makes it creepier. So the only thing mysterious right off the bat of this creature is the eyes. The eyes don't look completely human. They look like they're glowing possibly, or where the pupil is, it's white. But other than that, it looks like a human, which again, I think that makes it creepier. Because, like, if something just looks like a monster, well, that's terrifying, of course. You know it's a monster from far away. When something looks like a child, besides maybe the eyes being slightly different, you have to get pretty darn close to this thing to realize. And then, like, ones if you see it in the middle of the night on, like, an empty road, you want to go up and help it because, oh my gosh, here's a little child that's lost. Then you go up there and you get, like, 2 feet from this thing, and then it turns around and you realize, oh my god, it's an SCP. Okay, well, while we have that mental image, let's jump into the description of it. Now, if you are new here, hi, hello, my name's Kaylena. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you join the Rad Fam by hitting subscribe today. That's a really long thing to say. I'm going to work on shortening that. So I'm not going to go over the entire file of this creature. I like to just stick to the description, like what it can do, why it's terrifying. And then down in the description below, I always include links to this specific SCP. So if you want to go further explore the file, you can certainly do that. So with that, let's read the description of this creature. SCP-239 belongs to Object Class Keter. It's to be kept within a 1-room cell furnished with 1 bed, 1 EKG machine, and 1 IV to be filled with pentobarbital mixed with data expunged. So what the heck? Secret drug cocktail does it have this thing on to sedate it? Under no circumstances is SCP-239 to be removed from her containment area at any given time. Okay, yep, this thing is super dangerous. I wonder if that has to do with maybe in the past it was like, because it's a child form, maybe it was able to trick people into thinking it was weak and helpless, and then, whoop, no it's not, it killed a bunch of people. Let's find out. The walls of the cell are to be coated in a telekill lead alloy. All personnel guarding SCP-239's containment area are to be equipped with telekill headgear. Okay, duh, telegear, telepath. Okay, this thing can read minds, control minds, uses its powers to make you do what it wants. That completely makes sense then why it wants to keep contact to this thing at a minimum. That's really sad though, because it does look like a kid. Oh man, I'm a fool. I would totally believe this thing in a heartbeat if it told me it needed help. I would take one look and be like, oh, it's so tiny. Yep, I'd be a goner. Any personnel found attempting to awaken the subject will be immediately terminated. So they're not taking a single chance with this thing. SCP-239 appears to be an 8-year-old girl, about 1 meter in height and weighing 20 kilograms. So yeah, very unassuming, very tiny. Subject has shoulder-length blonde hair. Upon closer inspection, the subject's eyes shimmer a gray-green shade. Okay, so that would be the giveaway that something's not quite right, but I mean, it's a gray-green, so it's not like a blinding white like I thought the picture showed it. Subject seems to emit a previously undiscovered form of radiation, which has been named, and then that's redacted. These waves seem to be harmless in low concentrations, but in higher concentrations, they could break down matters on a subatomic level. So not only can this thing like control things with its mind, it can also, what, with a snap of its fingers or maybe even just like a glance at you, turn you into dust? SCP-239 seemingly has the ability to do whatever she expresses a will to do. Fortunately, she only seems to be able to affect herself and her immediate surroundings. Therefore, if she can see it, she can change it. Okay, so it's not like she can envision like an entire continent disappearing. She has to actually lay eyes on the thing. So I guess a tiny bit of comfort, but not much. Not much. It would not be the most prudent course of action, however, to try to test how powerful she actually can be. So don't mess with this thing, basically. She seems to be able to create and affect living matter. For example, when a D-class personnel accidentally caused her harm, she simply wished him away. That's terrifying. Fortunately, when the subject was made to feel guilty for what she had done, she wished him back into existence. So okay, so she's not completely evil. She doesn't have no feelings, which some SCP literally do not care about humans whatsoever, actually will hate humans and want them to be gone forever. So at least she has like what I guess we would deem some humanity if you can make her feel guilty for her actions. So like there's still some hope, which is really sad though that they're sedating her and they can't like just, I don't know, teach her not to kill people. Her preservation instinct makes her virtually invincible while she is conscious. Subject's skin cannot be punctured by anything except SCP-148. As a method of controlling the subject's ability, she has been told that she is a witch, which is where the name comes from. This, besides improving morale greatly, makes her believe that she is unable to use her abilities outside of a pre-approved list of spells given to her by the SCP Foundation. So they're straight up manipulating this little kid. This will hopefully prevent any and all attempted escapes. However, the subject is to be kept calm at all times to prevent any subconscious wish of harm to herself or to others. If she does awaken and she gets in a bad mood and she can't be consoled or, you know, made to feel guilty for her bad actions, what are they gonna do to stop her? She's damn near invincible and her skin can't be punctured unless it's with this other SCP. That's a lot. That's a big gamble you'd have to take. So while it's really sad, you know, because it is like a little kid kinda, I get it. It's sad though, but I get it, but it's sad. The next SCP that we're covering today is SCP-053, which is called Young Girl. Now, this one belongs to Object Class Euclid, and unfortunately there is no picture accompanying it, so we will have to use our imaginations to envision the terrifyingness that's about to be described. SCP-053 is to be contained in an area no less than 5 meters by 5 meters and given adequate room to move about. So toys, books, games, and other recreational devices are to be amply provided and rotated every 3 months. So right off the bat, this thing is treated much more like an actual child than the previous one, which again, I get, but like makes me really sad. But don't be fooled, this thing is incredibly creepy and dangerous, just like the other SCP. No physical contact is to be made with SCP-053 without full atmosphere containment suit and eye shield. No eye contact is to be made with SCP-53 for any reason. No eye contact is to be made with SCP-053 for absolutely any reason. So why? What can this thing do with its eyeballs? Only one member of personnel may be present in the room at any given time and must be secured by a safety line of steel cable. Okay, why? What is this thing? All personnel must be removed from SCP-053's containment chamber within 10 minutes of entering, so very limited contact. So only one person at a time, has to be in a full-on suit, can't look at it in its eyes maybe, or maybe it just has to protect its eyes because this thing wants to claw out or eat eyeballs. I was thinking maybe like more it can control you, if like lock gaze with it, but maybe it's actually just to secure your physical eyeballs to your skull. Oh, that was disturbing. Any personnel who begin to act erratically, scream, or attempt to grab the SCP are to be removed and quarantined. SCP-053 appears to be a small 3-year-old girl. Oh, so tiny. She is capable of basic speech and appears to be slightly above average in mental development. So, you know, she's smart, but not like scary smart, at least appearing on the outside. She has a generally pleasant personality and rarely seems upset, becoming agitated only in the presence of groups of people. So that's why only one person at a time. Any and all humans over the age of 3 who make eye contact with, physically touch, or remain around for longer than 10 minutes will rapidly become irrational, paranoid, and homicidal. Okay, so yeah, she's given off something, either some like sort of particles, some radiation, some mind controlling abilities. I'm not quite sure, but okay, yeah. This tiny little toddler is incredibly dangerous, which I don't know why I'm acting surprised. Most, if not all of these feelings will be directed at the SCP, and afflicted subjects will attempt to kill it after first killing or driving off all humans visible to them. Oh no, so this thing is like making people want to hurt it. That's like so much sadder. But this thing can protect itself. Anyone attempting to kill this SCP will suffer a massive heart attack or seizures and die seconds after doing any physical damage to her. She will then regenerate almost instantaneously from any wound regardless of the severity. I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, huh? Because this little toddler is almost indestructible, it seems like. SCP-053 appears wholly ignorant to these effects and ignores any and all subjects affected. When questioned about the effect, she is incapable of response. So is she pushing it out of her mind because she doesn't want to acknowledge it, or is she like actually incapable of acknowledging what she is? I don't know. How do you guys feel about that one? Are you more terrified of it? Because I mean, it is scary. Or do you feel more bad for it? I mean, I guess you can do both. Why can't you do both equally? Now, the last SCP that we're covering in today's video is SCP-747, and it is called Children and Dolls. Yeah, dolls are very creepy, so I'm thinking a hybrid of dolls and children mixed into one, or I'm thinking this thing can control dolls, maybe? Let's find out. So what is this photo? Recovered from initial containment. Well, that's definitely eerie. I don't like that one bit. But something about seeing a little kid in a mask when it's not on Halloween is very unnerving. Right? I don't know. Like, why is it in a mask? Is that weird? Am I weird for thinking that? And now, this SCP belongs to Object Class Euclid. All instances of SCP-747 are to be contained in a room exactly 30 meters by 10 meters, with walls consisting of concrete 15 centimeters thick. Okay, so they're really wanting to protect themselves. All instances of SCP-747 are to be contained together in the same room. Interesting. I don't think I've come across an SCP like that before. In the occurrence of this SCP shows interest in any personnel, procedures SCP-747-B9 must be performed immediately. Under no circumstances shall any unusual actions of SCP-747 go unreported to personnel level 3 or higher. Why? Is it wanting to like target these people? Is it going to like sacrifice them? I'm thinking like little kids in masks forming a circle around the personnel and like sacrificing them in like a ritual. Now, if you're wondering where the heck the name comes from, SCP-747 is allowed a total of 25, very specific, dolls, excluding any created under SCP-747's influence. Any personnel that begin to show visible signs of the influence are to be contained separately in similar conditions. Should a containment breach occur, Task Force 747B8 is to be alerted and proceed with recapture immediately. SCP-747 is a phenomenon involving the appearance of children in any manner of animal masks. So only animal masks. Interesting. All instances of SCP-747 have been successfully identified as deceased children of appearance congruent with the time of deaths, excluding the masks. The commonality of the children, according to research, is that they all owned a doll precious to them at their time of death. Currently in containment, there are 7 instances of SCP-747. Is it replicating itself to be these dead children, or is it actually like these dead children? I'm just gonna real quickly go over the description of each of the SCP. So 01 is a male, about 7 years old, and wears a zebra mask. 02 is also a male, about 12 years of age, so a big age gap there, and wears a mouse mask. 03 is a female, about 10 years of age, and wears a pig mask. Okay, that's adorable. 04 is a male, about 14 years of age, and wears a rabbit mask. 05 is a female, about 12 years of age, and wears a giraffe mask, so the one in the picture. 06 is a female, about 5, and wears a goat mask. And 07 is a male, about 9 years of age, and wears a cat mask. I'm just envisioning these 7 forming a circle around me in a seance. Like, I'm literally just feeling like seance vibes from this. And like, what? Does it want to make more of them for a reason? I don't know, it's so creepy. Each instance of SCP-747 cannot speak, nor do they seem to be aware of humans unless taking particular interest in specific individuals. Okay, yep, okay, that's very creepy. I see why if they start showing an interest in you, It's time to run. They mainly show interest in handmade dolls and each other. Okay, well this is why the cement has to be so thick. SCP-747 is able to move through obstacles no thicker than 10 centimeters with ease. Oh wait, so is this thing like a ghost? Now I'm thinking Ouija board seance. Anyone else? It is semi-corporeal, so there are instances of it being able to lift and touch objects, but only for a very short amount of time. Oh, okay. It also has the ability to transform humans into dolls. So that's right there why you don't want it to be interested in you, unless you want to be a doll forever, I suppose. And it takes over the course of 21 days. So that is why it's saying instantly if this thing like is interested in you, you need to go. For this thing to turn you into a doll, it has to surround the human and hold hands before walking around the human for a period of 5 to 7 seconds. I feel like I hit the nail on the head there with the whole like seance standing in a circle element. Afterwards, the SCP disperses and continues normal behavior. It is unknown which humans they chose to transform or why. SCP-747 occasionally shows interest in a person before attempting to transform them. The person is able to interrupt the process by moving away or avoiding the SCP. However, most people describe a feeling of thoughtlessness or blankness when in contact with the SCP, thereby making the interruption very difficult. Yeah, I would not want to be around this thing for even a second. If it only takes like the span of a vine for this thing to transform you into a doll, yeah, I'm good. This file then goes on to describe like the process of turning the person into a doll, and it also mentions that there is no cure for it once it happens, but it does say if at any point a doll made from the SCP's influence is destroyed, the SCP will begin to show a greater interest in humans until another human is targeted for replacement. So basically, don't mess with its dolls. Oh, and it includes a picture of the SCP's effect. So an example of one of the dolls. Something about it is kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. It's like creepy, but like I think it's creepy to me because it kind of looks like old-timey, and something about that is like creepy. But I mean, I guess if you came across this would be pretty unassuming, right? Like you'd be like, oh, that's a weird doll, but like you wouldn't think, oh, that's a person. So you know, next time you come into contact with a doll like this or see a kid in a mask, remember this SCP. Well, that does it for today's dive into the SCP Foundation. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did like it, please leave me down below suggestions of which SCP you want to see us cover next. Should we switch it up a little bit? Should I focus on one SCP per video? Should I do like SCP versus SCP? Or maybe if you like pose a question like, what if this SCP actually existed in real life? I don't know. There's a lot to be made here. So I would love to read your suggestions. And until next time, keep up the radness, and I'll see you real soon. Bye. Oh, I just realized with all my lights red, it kind of looks like I'm in hell. That's very fitting because it's incredibly hot right now.